Apple is about to charge you $2,500 for a phone. And the wild part is they might be right to. This fall, you have a real decision to make for the first time in years. The iPhone 18 Pro Max, which is already getting a price increase of up to $200, or the iPhone Ultra, Apple's first foldable, arriving at what every leak now says is somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500. Those are real numbers, and the answer to which one you should actually buy is not what most people are going to tell you. There is one specific thing I've been tracking across every credible leak for the past 6 months, one hardware detail that changes the entire value equation between these two phones. We'll get there, but I need to show you the full picture first. Apple's fall 2026 launch is genuinely different from anything they've done in years. For the first time since the original iPhone X, they're introducing a whole new product category at their September event, not just an upgrade. The iPhone Ultra is Apple's first book-style foldable, competing directly with Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold line years later than everyone expected, and at a price point nobody else has had the nerve to ask. I've been tracking every leak, every supply chain report, and every analyst note since the beginning of 2026. And the thing that nobody is connecting yet is how the iPhone Ultra's rumored compromises actually make the iPhone 18 Pro Max look better than it has any right to. Let's break this down piece by piece. Apple is only releasing its premium models in September 2026, the iPhone 18 Pro, the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and the new foldable iPhone. The standard iPhone 18 and the iPhone 18e follow in spring 2027. That marks the biggest change to Apple's iPhone launch schedule in years. What that means for you, if you're upgrading this fall, you are spending premium money no matter what. Every new iPhone introduced in September 2026 will likely start at $999 or more. The budget option is gone until 2027. So the real question this year isn't whether to upgrade, it's which of these very expensive phones is actually right for you. The iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max are expected to debut Apple's C2 modem and shift to a 2-nanometer manufacturing process for the A20 Pro chip. 2 nanometers, that's not a marketing number. The next generation 2-nanometer A20 Pro chip promises massive performance and battery gains. Rumored upgrades also include a smaller dynamic island with under-display Face ID, variable aperture on the Pro Max, and enhanced sensors. Variable aperture, that's a mechanical aperture system, the same thing professional cameras have had for decades, finally making it into a phone. And on connectivity, Apple is rumored to support 5G networks served from satellites, expanding well beyond emergency use. This would allow iPhone 18 models to have full internet access via satellite, not just emergency services. Apple is apparently teaming up with Amazon to provide this, following Amazon's acquisition of Global Star, which means iPhones will fall under Amazon Leo, Amazon's satellite internet network. Full satellite internet on a phone. Hold that thought. It matters differently depending on which phone you're buying. By the way, if you haven't seen my full breakdown of what the i20 Pro chip architecture actually means for on-device AI, that video puts everything I'm about to say in the right context. Link below. Okay, the iPhone Ultra. Let's start with the name because it tells you everything about how Apple is positioning this. If Apple calls it iPhone Fold, the message is simple. Apple finally made a foldable phone. But if Apple calls it iPhone Ultra, the message changes. It becomes a new top-tier iPhone category, above Pro and Pro Max, designed for users who want the most advanced and expensive iPhone experience Apple can offer. Rumors and leaks from spring 2026 suggest Apple is looking to call it iPhone Ultra, a name that signals a new flagship tier sitting above the Pro models. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman claimed the folding iPhone will be one of several Ultra products coming this year. So, what does the Ultra actually look like? The iPhone Ultra is a book-style foldable. It opens from a phone-sized cover screen into a large near-square inner display, roughly the size of an iPad mini. According to current information, the iPhone Ultra will offer an approximately 7.8-inch internal OLED display without a visible fold and an approximately 5.5-inch external display, 7.8 inches unfolded. That is a serious screen, and the hardware matches the name, the A20 Pro chip manufactured with 2-nanometer technology and 12 gigabytes of RAM. This iPhone is also said to have the largest battery ever at 5,000 to 5,500 milliamp hours. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because for all of that, the Ultra has some real compromises built in. The foldable iPhone is rumored to feature two 48 megapixel rear cameras, likely a standard wide and an ultra wide, but it may lack a dedicated telephoto lens. This is likely due to space constraints in the foldable design, and it could be seen as a notable drawback, especially for a premium ultra model at a high price point. No telephoto on a phone that might cost $2,500. A November 2025 report from JP Morgan also claimed Apple could drop LiDAR and optical image stabilization, though this remains uncertain. And then there's the price. While previous leaks suggested around $2,000 to $2,200, the latest information suggests Apple can push the base price up to $2,500 for a first-generation device. With no telephoto, that potentially lacks optical image stabilization. I'm not saying it's the wrong phone. I'm saying you need to understand exactly what you're paying for, okay? And everything I just told you about the Ultra's camera system, that is actually the second most important thing to understand about this phone. What's coming next is the part that changes how I think about both of these devices. Stay with me. This is the comparison nobody is making clearly right now. Most coverage is treating the iPhone Ultra like it exists in its own category, something you either want or you don't, but that's not how most people are going to experience it. Most people are going to walk into a store in September, look at the price of the iPhone 18 Pro Max, which is now rumored to cost up to $200 more than the 17 Pro Max, and then look at the Ultra, and they're going to make a real decision. So let me make that decision clear. The iPhone 18 Pro variant is rumored to include a 4,288 milliamp hour battery. The iPhone 18 Pro Max could have a larger 5,200 milliamp hour battery capacity. Rumored upgrades include a smaller dynamic island with under-display Face ID, plus variable aperture, potentially on the Pro Max, and enhanced sensors. Some leaks point to a new stacked image sensor design aimed at reducing noise and improving dynamic range. A 24 megapixel selfie camera has also been mentioned in multiple reports, and it keeps the full triple lens camera system. Wide, ultra-wide telephoto, the thing the Ultra is giving up to fit the hinge. Think about that for a second. You are being asked to pay roughly $1,000 more for a phone that has a bigger screen when unfolded, but that trades away the telephoto camera to get there. If you shoot, zoom. If you travel, if you care about reaching across a crowd at a concert, the 18 Pro Max wins cleanly. Where the Ultra wins is obvious. That 7.8-inch interior screen turns the phone into something genuinely different. It may become Apple's most premium iPhone category, aimed at early adopters, business users, Apple fans, and people who want both an iPhone and a small tablet-like experience in one device. If that's you, and you know that's you, the Ultra is probably the right buy. But here's the thing I haven't seen anyone else say clearly. According to behind-the-scenes information, Apple canceled several generations of Ultra prototypes altogether because they didn't meet its requirements for build quality or hinge durability. That's how long this took. Apple watched Samsung ship 6 generations of foldables before they built one they were willing to sell. And the reason that matters is this: a first generation foldable from Apple with Apple's quality bar after that many cancelled prototypes is probably a more durable device than any first generation foldable has a right to be. That's the argument for buying it early. That's the thing I changed my mind on. Now, let's talk about the number everyone is trying to avoid. The iPhone 18 Pro models could be up to $200 more expensive, according to a prediction from analytics firm IDC. Prior to Apple's recent Mac and iPad price hike, the prediction was a $100 increase for the 18 Pro and Pro Max. So the baseline just moved. Apple has not confirmed pricing, but industry estimates suggest the iPhone 18 Pro could see an increase due to rising component costs and memory prices, and the Ultra sits above all of that. The iPhone Ultra price is rumored to land in the $2,000 range, making it by some distance the most expensive iPhone ever sold. That price tag is exactly why a lot of buyers will think hard about timing, trade-in value, and whether a first generation foldable is the smart purchase. Here is my honest take. If you are on an iPhone 15 or older, the 18 Pro Max upgrade is genuinely compelling on hardware alone. The 2-nanometer chip, the full triple camera system, the battery, variable aperture if that rumor holds. You don't need to spend $2,500 to get a dramatically better iPhone this fall. If you are specifically looking for a device that replaces both your phone and your iPad, or you travel constantly and live in productivity apps, then the Ultra's interior screen changes the value equation completely. But buying the Ultra because it's exciting, that's the most expensive way to be an early adopter Apple has ever offered. Here's where I land. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is the better phone for the vast majority of people upgrading this fall. Better camera system, better zoom, under display, Face ID on a proven flat form factor, 5,200 milliamp hour battery, the same 2-nanometer chip as the Ultra, and it's going to cost somewhere around $1,000 less. The iPhone Ultra is for one specific buyer, someone who genuinely wants the biggest possible screen in their pocket, understands they're paying an early adopter tax, and is okay with trading the telephoto camera to get a device that has never existed before. Both phones are real. Neither one is a bad choice, but they're not the same choice. And the open loop I planted at the start, the one hardware detail that changes the whole picture, it's the telephoto. Everyone is going to focus on the foldable screen, the hinge, the new design. Nobody is going to talk loudly enough about what the Ultra gives up to get there. Watch for that in September. It's the review angle that separates honest coverage from hype. And if you want to understand what variable aperture actually means for real-world photography, not just the spec sheet, I did a deep dive on how Samsung and Huawei tried it first and why Apple's version might be different. If you haven't seen that one, it's worth your time before September. Are you paying the premium this fall for the iPhone 18 Pro Max because the hardware finally justifies it? Or are you holding your upgrade for the Ultra, knowing full well it's a first-generation foldable at the highest price Apple has ever charged for a phone? Tell me which camp you're in.